They told you to be the hero. From the very moment you could understand the words spoken to you, they fed you the same tired narrative. They told you to play by the rules, to be the savior, to be the good person who always turns the other cheek, who always sacrifices their own happiness for the sake of others. They handed you a script and told you to read your lines perfectly. Be the hero, they said. Save the day, carry the weight of the world on your shoulders, and smile while you are breaking underneath it all. But what they never told you, what they deliberately hid from your eyes, is that the world doesn't want a hero. The world wants a scapegoat. The world wants someone to blame when things go wrong, and someone to discard when they are no longer useful. I wasn't chosen to watch the whole world burned. And let me tell you, there is an absolute undeniable beauty in the flames. There is a profound sense of liberation that washes over you when you finally realize that you do not have to save people who are desperately trying to destroy themselves. You do not have to be the martyr in a story written by hypocrites. When you step back and watch the fire, you aren't being evil. You are simply allowing the natural order of things to take its course. The illusion of society is a fragile construct built on lies, manipulation, and unspoken contracts that benefit the ruthless while crushing the empathetic. For years you walked around with a heavy heart, trying to fix everything, trying to heal everyone, bleeding yourself dry to water gardens that never bloomed for you. You gave your energy, your time, your soul, and what did you get in return? Betrayal, abandonment, the cold, harsh realization that when you fall, the crowd doesn't rush to catch you. They pull up a chair to watch you hit the ground. If you are listening to this right now and you can feel the weight of those exact words resonating in your chest, if you have ever felt the stinging blade of betrayal from the very people you tried to save, hit the like button right now. Let that like be a declaration that your days of being the sacrificial lamb are officially over. Drop a comment below saying, "I am the fire," so that everyone else who is watching this knows that an army of the awakened is rising. We are no longer playing their games. We are no longer accepting their terms and conditions. The realization hits you not like a gentle breeze, but like a violent storm that uproots everything you thought you knew. You wake up one day and you look in the mirror and you don't see the naive, hopeful person you used to be. You see someone who has survived. You see someone who has endured the absolute worst of human nature and has come out on the other side, not broken, but enlightened. The Joker isn't just a character, it is a mindset, an archetype, a mirror held up to a sick society. The Joker understands that the rules are a joke. The laws, the morals, the expectations, they are all chains designed to keep the lions in cages so the sheep can sleep comfortably at night. But you are not a sheep. You were born with a fire in your veins, and for too long you let them extinguish it. Now you stand at the edge of the cliff looking down at the city of lies, and you simply smile. You smile because you are no longer burdened by the need to fix it. You understand that some things need to be destroyed before they can be rebuilt. You understand that the fire is not your enemy. The fire is the cleanser. It burns away the fake friends, the manipulative relationships, the toxic environments, and the weak versions of yourself that you created just to fit in. Make sure you hit that subscribe button right now and turn on the notification bell, because this channel is the sanctuary for those who have opened their eyes. We are building a community of individuals who are done pretending, done conforming, and ready to embrace the glorious chaos of absolute freedom. By subscribing, you are telling the world that you are stepping into your villain era, not to cause harm to the innocent, but to absolutely refuse to be harmed by the guilty ever again. When you stop trying to be the hero, an incredible shift happens in your psychology. You stop seeking validation. The hero constantly needs a crowd to cheer for him. The hero needs someone in distress to validate his existence. But the observer, the one who watches the world burn, needs absolutely nothing from anyone. Your power is no longer derived from external approval. It is generated from an infinite internal source of self-reliance and stoic indifference. Let them point their fingers. Let them call you cold. Let them call you distant. Let them call you a villain. Their opinions are just echoes in the wind, meaningless noises made by people who are trapped in a matrix they cannot even perceive. You have broken free. You have seen the strings attached to the puppets, and you have chosen to cut your own. The pain you went through was not a punishment. It was a preparation, every tear you cried, every night you stayed awake wondering why you weren't good enough, every time you were overlooked and undervalued. It was all leading to this exact moment of supreme clarity. You were being forged in the crucible of suffering so that you could eventually become completely impervious to their manipulation. They created the monster they now fear. They pushed you to the edge, expecting you to fall, but instead you learned how to fly above the flames. The whole world is running in a frantic, exhausting rat race, chasing invisible trophies, stabbing each other in the back for a fleeting moment of artificial glory. And there you are, standing still, observing the madness and laughing. It is a laugh born of true understanding. It is the laugh of someone who knows the punchline to the cosmic joke. You watch the corrupt systems crumble. You watch the liars turn on each other. You watch the empires of deceit collapse under their own weight, and you feel nothing but peace. You are the architect of your own reality now. The burning world is just the backdrop to your personal ascent. Every time they try to pull you back into their drama, you simply hand them a match and walk away. You owe them nothing. The debt has been paid in full with your past suffering. From this day forward, your energy is exclusively yours. You invest it only in your growth, your strength, your peace, and your empire. If they want to destroy themselves, let them. If they want to consume each other in their greed and vanity, let them. You are the untouchable phantom, the ghost who walks through the fire without a single scorch mark. Your motivation is no longer tied to saving the world. It is tied to mastering yourself. Self-mastery is the ultimate rebellion against a society that wants you weak, predictable, and dependent. When you master your emotions, you become dangerous. When you can sit in a room full of chaos and maintain absolute inner stillness, you possess a power that terrifies the weak-minded. They will try to guilt-trip you. They will try to shame you into caring. They will use every manipulative tactic in the book to force you back into the role of the subservient hero. But your armor is impenetrable. You just look at them with eyes that have seen the darkest corners of the human soul, and you tell them the undeniable truth. I wasn't chosen to watch you burn. You no longer flinch at the sight of destruction, because you recognize that destruction is the mother of creation. The forest must burn for the soil to become fertile again. Their archaic structures of control must be reduced to ash, so that true freedom can emerge. You are the silent witness to the grand unraveling. When you look back at your past, you don't feel regret. You feel a profound sense of gratitude for the harsh lessons. If they had been kind to you, if they had treated you fairly, you might still be asleep. You might still be one of the mindless drones marching toward the precipice. But their cruelty was the ultimate gift. It forced you to wake up. It forced you to shed the skin of the victim and wear the armor of the sovereign. This mindset isn't about promoting chaos. It's about making peace with the chaos that already exists. It's about refusing to drown in an ocean of other people's making. Make sure you leave a comment right now. Tell me exactly how it felt when you finally stopped caring. Share your awakening in the comments below, because your story might be the spark that ignites the fire in someone else's mind. We are the outcasts, the misunderstood, the ones who see in the dark. While they are busy panicking over the ashes, we are already forging our crowns in the embers. The world wants you to apologize for your newfound strength. They want you to feel sorry for setting boundaries, for saying no, for putting your own sanity above their demands. Never apologize. Never step back into the shadow just because your light is blinding their fragile eyes. You are not obligated to shrink yourself to make them comfortable. Let them be uncomfortable. Let them be uncomfortable. Let them squirm as they realize they can no longer control you. The fire is spreading, and it is the most beautiful thing you have ever seen. This is just the beginning of your true journey. The hero's journey is a loop of suffering. The observer's journey is a straight line to absolute liberation. The beauty of the inferno isn't in the destruction itself, but in the truth it reveals when the masks finally melt away. Think about it. Everyone you know is wearing a mask meticulously crafted to fit the expectations of a society that doesn't even care if they breathe or choke. They spend their entire lives polishing these facades, terrified that a single crack might reveal the raw, unfiltered human being underneath. But when the world starts to burn, when the systems fail and the comforts vanish, those masks are the first things to go. You've seen it, haven't you? You've seen it happen to you. You've seen how quickly the good people turn on each other the moment their own interests are threatened. You've seen the polite smiles transform into snarls of desperation. And that is why you stopped trying to save them. You realized that you were trying to preserve a lie. By choosing to watch the world burn, you are choosing to see the truth. You are choosing to stand in the reality of what is, rather than the fantasy of what people pretend to be. If this realization feels like a weight being lifted off your shoulders, if you're finally breathing for the first time in years, hit that like button right now to signify your own awakening. Let's see how many of us have finally decided to stop playing the part of the fool. Comment "truth over lies" below to show that you are done with the charade. Your participation isn't just a metric, it's a signal to the algorithm that there is a hunger for the uncomfortable truth, a signal that we are building a legion of the unmasked. Subscribe to this channel and join this inner circle of survivors who have found clarity in the chaos. We are not just watching the old world burn. We are gathering the wisdom necessary to navigate the ruins. Don't miss the next chapters of this evolution, because the deeper we go, the more powerful you become. The hero is always bound by a code, a set of arbitrary rules that prevent them from ever truly winning. They fight with one hand tied behind their back, constantly checking to see if the crowd is still cheering. But you have no such limitations. You have realized that the moral high ground is just a lonely, cold place where people go to die for causes that will forget them by morning. When you step down from that pedestal, you gain the freedom to move through the shadows, to see the world as a chessboard rather than a battlefield of good versus evil. There is no good or evil in the fire. There is only what survives and what turns to ash. You are the survivor. You have been through the fire already, and it didn't consume you, it tempered you. It took your soft, empathetic heart and turned it into obsidian. It took your naive dreams and replaced them with a razor-sharp vision of reality. They call you cynical, they call you bitter, but they are just terrified of your indifference. Your indifference is the ultimate weapon. When you no longer care about their approval, their insults, or their expectations, you become a ghost in their machine. They cannot grasp you, they cannot manipulate you, and they certainly cannot break you. You are watching the world burn, not out of hatred, but out of a profound, cold understanding that the structure was built on a foundation of sand. It was always destined to fall. You are just the one brave enough to pull up a chair and enjoy the spectacle. The people who once ignored you, the ones who walked over you while you were trying to be their hero, are now starting to feel the heat. They are looking around for a savior, and they see you standing there, calm and composed, and they are horrified. They are horrified because they realize that the person they broke is the only one who truly understands the world they are now losing. You are the living proof that their system failed. You are the unintended consequence of their cruelty. Every time they tried to suppress you, they only added fuel to the fire that is now consuming their reality. You are the dark mirror that reflects their own hypocrisy back at them. And as the flames rise higher, as the institutions crumble and the social contracts are torn to shreds, you find yourself smiling. It's not a smile of malice, it's a smile of recognition. You recognize the rhythm of the collapse. You recognize that this is the natural conclusion to a story written in greed and deception. You have transcended the need for a happy ending. You have found your peace in the climax of the tragedy. Every day you wake up and you see the headlines, the scandals, the endless bickering of a society that has lost its way. And instead of feeling anxiety, you feel a strange, serene sense of detachment. It's like watching a movie you've already seen 1,000 times. You know how it ends. You know the hero doesn't make it, and the city doesn't get saved. But you also know that for the first time, you are not a character in that movie. You are the director. You are the one who decided to stop following the script. This is the moment where you reclaim your narrative. You are no longer the sidekick in someone else's drama. You are the protagonist of your own dark, beautiful reality. They want you to feel guilty for your detachment. They want you to believe that caring is a moral obligation. But you know better. You know that their version of caring is just another form of control. They want you to care, so they can use your empathy as a leash. By refusing to care, you have snapped the leash. You are roaming free in the wilderness of your own making, and for the first time in your life, you are truly safe. Safe because you no longer have anything to lose that they can take away. You have already lost your faith in them, and in doing so, You found your faith in yourself. This is the true meaning of the Joker's laughter. It is the sound of a soul that has finally let go of the burden of hope. Hope is the ultimate trap. It keeps you waiting for a rescue that is never coming. When you kill hope, you birth power. You stop waiting and you start acting. You stop asking and you start taking. You stop pleading and you start observing. The world is a stage, and the play is a comedy of errors. You are the only one in the theater who realized it's not a drama. You are the only one who can see the absurdity of it all, and that is why you were chosen. Not by a divine power, not by a lucky star, but by the sheer weight of your own experiences. You were chosen by the darkness to be its witness. You were chosen by the pain to be its master. And as the world continues to burn, you realize that you aren't just watching. You are the fire itself. You are the inevitable force that comes to reclaim what was always meant to return to the void. You are the silence after the explosion. You are the calm in the eye of the hurricane. And you are just getting started. Every person who ever doubted you, every person who ever took your kindness for weakness, is currently standing in the path of the flames you have allowed to spread. They think they can put it out with their old tricks, with their lies and their manipulation. But the fire you carry is different. It is the fire of absolute clarity, and it cannot be extinguished by those who still live in the dark. Your existence is now a constant reminder of everything they failed to be. You are the walking manifestation of the truth they tried to bury. And as you watch the structures of their world turn to ash, you realize that the ash is the perfect material for building something entirely new, something that belongs only to you. This is not about revenge. Revenge is for the small-minded. This is about evolution. This is about becoming something that the world can no longer categorize or contain. You are the outlier, the anomaly, the one who didn't break when the pressure was applied. You are the one who thrived in the vacuum. And as the horizon glows with the light of 1,000 burning bridges, you take a deep breath and realize that you have never felt more alive. The heat doesn't burn you, it warms you. The smoke doesn't choke you, it shields you. Our home in the chaos. The embers are cooling now, and the silence that follows the roar of the flames is the most beautiful sound you have ever heard. In that silence, the voices of the past, the critics, the manipulators, the people who demanded you be their hero, have finally faded into nothingness. They are gone, reduced to whispers in a wind that no longer touches you. This is the ultimate stage of your transformation. You didn't just survive the destruction. You became the architect of the aftermath. Look around at the ruins of the expectations that once nearly crushed the life out of you. Do you see how small they look now? Do you see how insignificant their rules were? You are living in a cage with an open door, terrified to step out because they told you the world outside was dangerous. But now that the cage is burned to the ground, you realize the only dangerous thing in this equation was the version of you that stayed inside. If you have reached this level of clarity, if you feel the power of your own rebirth in your veins, make sure you hit that like button one last time. Let it be the final nail in the coffin of your old self. Subscribe to this channel right now, because we are the ones who don't just watch the fire. We use its heat to forge a future that is entirely our own. Leave a comment saying, "Legacy of the Fire," to show that you are building something that can never be torn down again. This community is your fortress, a place where the misunderstood find their absolute strength. Don't walk away from this video and go back to being who they want you to be. Stay here, stay awake, and keep the fire burning. The world is a graveyard of abandoned dreams and broken heroes, but you are neither. You are the outlier. You are the one who saw the edge and decided to build a throne there. They used to call your name when they needed a savior. Now they whisper your name in a mixture of awe and terror. They don't understand how someone can be so whole after being so broken. They don't understand that the breaking was the best thing that ever happened to you. It was the only way to let the light of your true nature out. You are no longer reacting to the world is reacting to you. Your presence alone is a disruption to their hollow reality. When you walk into a room, you bring with you the cold air of the void and the searing heat of the truth. You don't need to say a word. Your silence speaks volumes. It says that you are done. It says that the debt is settled. It says that the hero is dead, and something much more formidable has taken his place. The Joker's motivation was never about the chaos for the sake of chaos. It was about the honesty of the chaos. For the Osti, it was about proving that beneath the thin veneer of civilization, we are all capable of anything. But you have gone a step further. You have moved past the need to prove anything to anyone. You have found the ultimate luxury, the luxury of not being known, not being understood, and not being caught in the gears of their machinery. You are the shadow that moves between their lights. You are the thought they are too afraid to finish. And as you stand amidst the ashes of the old world, you realize that the horizon isn't a boundary. It's an invitation. You can go anywhere. You can be anything. The fire didn't take away your future. It cleared the path so you could finally see it. There are no more scripts to follow, no more roles to play, and no more heroes to be. There is only you, the fire, and the infinite possibilities of the dark. You were never meant to save them. You were meant to outlast them. And as the last spark flickers out and the world turns to a peaceful, cold gray, you realize the joke was never on you. The joke was on them for thinking they could ever contain a soul that was born to burn. You take one last look at the wreckage of the world they built. You turn your back on the smoke, and you walk into the new dawn with a smile that could haunt 1,000 dreams. The transformation is complete. You are free. You are powerful. You are the fire that remains when everything else is turned to dust. This is your kingdom now. Welcome to the end of their world and the absolute beginning of yours. Stay cold, stay sharp, and never let them see the hero again. The show is over, the audience has fled, and the only one left standing is you. Laugh, because you've earned the right to have the final word. Laugh, because the world is finally yours to watch. Laugh, because you were never their hero. You were always their inevitable conclusion. The fire has done its work, and you are the masterpiece it left behind. Now, go forth and let the silence of your power be the only thing they hear. The journey doesn't end here. It simply moves into the shadows where you belong. You are the master of the flame, the king of the ash, and the watcher of the void. And for the first time, the view is perfect.